Hello everyone and welcome back to Timeless Nursing. I'm Zainab and today we are moving on to the chapter 2 of your nursing research journey, which is the literature review. Now before we dive into different parts of the literature review, let's look at what literature review really is. In simple terms, a literature review is the summary and analysis of what other researchers have written about your topic. Now, in undergraduate nursing research, a literature review helps you to identify the gaps that your study can fit in or can fill, and it also helps you to know more about your research topic. And another thing is, a literature review helps you to avoid repeating what has already been done. So in this chapter, we'll divide the literature review into three key parts, and the first one is the conceptual review, then we have the empirical review, and then the theoretical review. And today we are starting with the conceptual review. Now, what is the conceptual review, or what do you write under your conceptual review? Conceptual review simply means the definition or explanation of some concepts, of some terms in your research. Now, for example, using our topic, nurses' knowledge and attitude towards clinical nursing research and its application to nursing practice. If you look at it, the topic there is clinical nursing research. So I'll talk about some concepts related to clinical nursing research. And the first one is I'll talk about the evolution of nursing research in building evidence-based practice. I'll also define nursing research, and I'm also going to define clinical nursing research itself. And then also I might talk about the importance of clinical nursing research and the role of clinical research nurses. And also I might talk about the barriers that nurses face while conducting research or when applying it to nursing practice. Now, if this is not clear, another example is if you are conducting a study on, let's say, drug abuse among young adults in a particular community, you would want to define drug abuse, although you might put it as introduction, and then under that you might talk about a few things and then define drug abuse, and then you might want to state the causes of drug abuse and also the forms of drugs that are commonly abused by adults, and also maybe you might want to talk about the therapy. You are just telling your readers what your topic is about. You are helping them to understand your research topic before you begin your research or before they further proceed to read your findings. So similarly, if you are looking at a disease condition, let's say maybe you are studying malaria among under 5 children, you would want to tell us what malaria is. You tell us the causes of malaria, you tell us the pathogenesis, you mention the clinical presentation and the treatment regimen for malaria among children. So that's your conceptual review. So there's another thing I want to mention. I know I haven't talked about citation, like in-text citation and reference right from the start of the research. So everything you have written, you are supposed to cite it right from chapter 1 to chapter 5, except your chapter 4. Your chapter 4 is going to be your result, so you don't need to cite that because it's your main findings. You didn't copy it. I don't want to use copy. You didn't cite it. You didn't get it from another author. It belongs to you. It's from your main study. You generated the result from your own main research, so you don't need to cite that. But every other thing that you are writing, you are not copying. Any other thing that you are writing, you are citing. I don't know how to put it, but you get it. Any other thing that you are writing from another textbook or from another research paper, you are supposed to cite it. You are supposed to credit the authors and the year in which those papers were published. So for example, you are going to define the concept of nursing research. So you can say nursing research is defined as dash 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 dash, and then at the end you open bracket and put the author's name and the year. So another way of doing it is by putting the author's name from the beginning of your statement. You can say maybe Burns and Grove defined nursing research as dash 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 dash, or according to World Health Organization 2012 defined drug abuse as this. Yeah, that's your in-text citation. And also remember to reference, and then the format or the accepted type of referencing for undergraduate nursing research in Nigeria is APA 7th edition, but you can ask your supervisor, the one that your school is using. I don't know, your school might choose to use a diploma, but that's the acceptable format, I think, even worldwide. Yeah, so that's all I want to say for now regarding this. You can read more about it online, because there's a way that you cite a website, textbook, or a research paper, or research papers, or textbooks, or anything that does not have author's name. There's a way you cite it, so you can read more about it. And that's all for the conceptual review. See you in my next video, where I'll be talking about the empirical review. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Bye.